Hello, parents. Welcome to our School Success Secrets webinar. I'm really grateful to have you here. And I want to really thank you for taking the time to watch this and do this for your kids. It says a lot about the type of parents you are. I know you're very busy, so we're going to get right to the good stuff. So let's begin, shall we? Now, my goal for this class is to give you some of the top strategies and techniques that I've used over my career to help kids become their best, really bring out their best, and especially when it comes to doing great in school and starting the new school year. So to get the most out of this web class, you want to make sure that you don't have any distractions. Go ahead and close all the other windows, close your Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And make sure you stay until the end of this web class. I do have a free gift, a free bonus for you for staying until the end, so make sure you do. Also, I strongly recommend taking notes along the way, so you can really not only implement what you learn, but it's a great way to remember better. We learn better when we use handwritten notes. A little bit about me. You may know me from our community for the past 30 plus years. I've been teaching kids and parents right here in Upper Dublin. I'm the founder of Personal Power Martial Arts, which is a martial arts school. However, our focus or specialty is really on the personal development side of martial arts rather than the sports side or fighting and that kind of stuff. I am the creator of the Nobody Picks on Me bullying prevention program. I'm a motivational speaker, a certified neurolinguistic programming practitioner, certified clinical hypnotherapist, and a success coach. So the strategies that you're about to learn come from a combination of my expertise, anything from the wisdom of ancient martial arts masters to cutting edge techniques like NLP. Now, in 3 decades of working with thousands of parents, I've learned what parents do right. I've seen it all. I've also learned what many parents do wrong. And most parents try to figure it out the hard way through trial and error. However, you get to do it the easy way. I'm going to share with you some of these strategies so you'll know exactly what to do right. Now, I've condensed this web class into 3 strategies. Let's call them secrets. The first one is how to implement routines that your kids will actually follow. School success secret number 2 is how to teach your kids to use their personal power. And school success secret number 3 is how to instill self-discipline in your kids almost effortlessly. So you ready to get started? We're going to start with the first success secret, how to implement routines your kids will actually follow. Now, perhaps you already have some routines. If they're working for you, great. If not, I'm going to show you some things that will make routines work for you. And if you're not using any structured routines, this is going to make a huge difference, especially if your mornings are hectic or if you find yourself having bedtime battles with your kids. This will really eliminate, at the very least, significantly reduce all those issues. So the type of routine that we're going to discuss is called when-then routines. And the principle is simple. When the things your kids have to do are done, then they get to do the things they want to do. Now, I've learned this concept from Amy McCready, who's a parenting expert and author. That this is her new book. She has a couple of more. Just wanted to give credit where credit is due. Her books are excellent. I strongly recommend them. And the real, behind when-then routine is when their teeth are brushed, they've washed up, they're dressed, then they get to have breakfast, read a book, listen to music, and so on. So to get started, the first step to creating your when-then routine is to make a list of everything that needs to be done before leaving for school. So take your time, write it down. Things like make the bed, wash up, brush your teeth, pick out clothes, get dressed, prepare your backpack, your gym clothes, music instrument if it's required that day. And of course, each child is going to have similar, but depending on their age, a little bit different routines. Now, step 2 is to cross off the list anything that could be done the night before during their bedtime routine. So we're going to cross out, pick out your clothes, and we're going to cross out, prepare the backpack, gym clothes, or musical instrument, whatever they need, because that's something that should go on their evening routine, their bedtime routine. Step 3, we're going to write down the fun things that your kids get to do once the when side is completed. So when your bed is made, you've washed up, your teeth are brushed, you're dressed, then breakfast is served, or you get screen time until it's time to leave for the bus. Now, the key here is to make the then part something the kids really want to do, so it's motivating for them. So when they're doing the when part, the things they have to do, they can look forward to the then part. Now, once you have the complete routine, put it on a clipboard so they can carry it with them and check each task off as they complete them. So I know we're in the age of electronics and apps on your phone and so on, but I strongly recommend to put this down on paper. Kids love clipboards. It will give them that feeling of responsibility to carry it around with them and check things off the list. So this is my strong recommendation for you. And the goal is for them to complete their list without you having to say anything other than, hey, good morning. In other words, once they're in the habit, they just pick up their list, go through it, show up for breakfast with everything already done, and you have nothing to do with it. Now, once you've created routines for each child, call a family meeting and introduce each child to their routine. Now, you want to make sure that you do it in a positive tone. It's not like laying down the law, here it is, from now on you're doing this, but rather, hey, I got some really good news for you guys. You get to be more independent. You can say something like, hey, now that you guys are growing up, you get more independence, and part of that independence is taking responsibility for completing the things you have to do on your own. I trust you to do that. Here is that routine. Now, you do want to emphasize that it's not if then, it's when then. They don't get a choice there, but we're going to make that known more by our tone and by the structure rather than by telling them that. Now, step 6 is to coach everyone through practicing their routine, and you want to do that on a weekend or vacation morning. So run through everybody's routine a couple of times. You can do it not just in the morning, but practice the afternoon or evening before. But the key is to have them be completely familiar and having gone through it a few times as practice before they actually have to start implementing it. Now, what if my kid starts playing on his tablet in the morning, but he hasn't completed his list yet? Well, no big deal. All you got to do is you say, hey, good morning, honey. Great to see you. When you're done with everything on your list, then you get to play on your tablet. And then you smile and hold out your hand for him, gesturing to give you the tablet. And that's it. No arguing, no negotiating. It's just when and then. And it's that simple. Now, again, can't emphasize it enough. Not if then, it's when then. Now, little tip, you want to use visual reminders like putting sticky notes on their bathroom mirror, the dresser, and so on. So, as they get up, go to the bathroom, they see that little reminder to brush their teeth or wash up. Another tip, you can have your kids use a stopwatch or a watch with an alarm just to keep them on track, let them know how they're doing, how much time there's left, and so on. And very, very important, your attitude will set the tone for your morning and theirs. So you want to make sure you wake up 30 minutes or so before your kids do. And you want to do whatever you need to do to feel good, awake, and in a positive mood. So, if you're waking up grouchy and you're yelling and, your hair is still in your curlers, and it's very hard to set a good example for them, and they're going to feed off that energy. So make sure you stay calm and cheerful, or at the very least pretend to. And the same principles apply for the after school routines. So that might be when your homework is done, then you get to go play or watch TV or go to your activity. And of course, the same goes for bedtime routines. So everything that they need to do in the evening, this is a great way to greatly reduce or even eliminate any kind of bedtime battle. The routine just is going to let them know what to do, when to do it, and again, make it a habit. Now, super important, you want to make sure that your kids are getting adequate sleep. If they don't, and a lot of kids don't, they're going to be agitated, they're going to have issues focusing, it's going to really, really impair their behavior, their ability to learn when they're at school. So you want to make sure they get enough sleep. Here's a quick sleep recommendation for preschoolers. The recommended amount is between 10 and 13 hours sleep. You want to find out what your preschooler, what their individual needs are. But generally, you want to make sure it's not less than 8 hours and also not more than 14 hours. For your school-age children, 6 to 13, the recommended amount is 9 to 11 hours. And again, not less than 7, not more than 12. And for your teenagers, the recommended amount of sleep is 8 to 10 hours, not less than 7, not more than 11. Another bonus tip, have your kids set up their own alarm clock and be responsible for getting up on their own. And this could start as young as age 4. They're going to love it. One note, put the alarm clock across the room from their bed so they can't just hit a snooze type thing or stop it. They have to get out of bed when the alarm clock goes off. Also, make sure you keep their routines consistent every day. So there's no guesswork. It just becomes an automatic habit. Keep them the same. Obviously, there's going to be some days when they have to pack a different type of, maybe it's their musical instrument or their gym clothes. But generally, you want everything to stay the same every day. Let's move on to school success secret number 2, how to teach your kids to use their personal power. Now, this is a huge one, and the strategy and really more of a principle that I'm going to share with you here is not going to just make a huge difference in their school performance, but this is really one of the key principles you want to apply to your parenting to ensure that your kids will grow up to be happy, productive, successful adults. So pay close attention. Are you ready? Here we go. Now in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we have what we call our formula for success or formula for personal power, and it is C is greater than E. And what that means is cause is greater than effect. It's a mindset. So when you are at cause, you're taking responsibility for what happens to you, and it's a very empowering mindset. When you are at effect, you make excuses, you blame your bad luck, other people, circumstances, etc. And it's a very disempowering mindset. So we want to get our kids in the mindset that they are at cause, which will be very empowering to them rather than having them feel like they're victims of circumstance, of bad luck, and so on. In other words, we want our kids to know that because they are in control of their actions, they are also in control of the results and consequences of their actions, good or bad. by putting the responsibility for their actions on them, we give them the personal power to choose their results and choose their consequences. Kids who don't learn to take responsibility when they're young become teenagers who don't take responsibility. So teenagers who don't take responsibility become adults who don't take responsibility. So what's the opposite of teaching kids responsibility? That's rescuing. We've all heard about helicopter parents and lawnmower parents. You may consider yourself one of those. If you do, pay close attention. This is really going to make a difference for you. Now, you are a rescuer if you frequently find yourself doing things like reminding your kids about stuff they need for school, emailing their teachers or coaches, driving items they forgot to school, and really generally doing things for them that they are capable of doing for themselves. And that also includes things that you might not think they're capable of doing for themselves, but they are, or you think, well, they're capable of doing this, but if I do it, it will be better. So that's one important thing to keep in mind. And remember, a child who always forgets has a parent who always remembers. We want to teach our kids to be responsible, to remember on their own. Now, of course, everyone forgets something once in a while, so I'm not talking about this type of situation. It's always perfectly fine to help your child. However, if it's a frequent, recurring problem, we got to break that habit. And how do we do that? We're going to start by implementing a no rescue policy. So for your no rescue policy, you're going to let them know in advance what they are responsible for remembering from now on. They are responsible for remembering their homework, their musical instrument, their lunchbox, their umbrella, and their sports gear. You want to let them know in advance that you will no longer be reminding them or driving the things they forgot. Now, what are you going to do when maybe it's time to go to school and you can see the clarinet in the corner, and your son is about to leave through the door and the clarinet is not there? It's music day. Well, you want to resist the temptation to rescue. Don't cave in. This is going to be really, really, really hard. You really got to hold yourself back. Let him forget it, right? We want him to really experience the consequence and then learn from it. In other words, he's going to go to school. He's going to realize he didn't have his clarinet with him. He might have, some embarrassment, a little bit of conflict, having to explain to the teacher, and he might miss out on doing some things. In all likelihood, they'll find him something else to do. It's not going to be the end of the world, but he's going to learn from that experience and remember from now on. Now, you want to empathize. You don't want to rescue, but you want to empathize. So when he comes home and he's upset about forgetting his clarinet, you want to say something like, "Hey, honey, that must have been, that must have not felt good, huh? And, oh, well." So just so he knows that, you care. However, you want to resist the temptation to say, "Well, now you'll remember the next time," or "From now on, you remember." In other words, don't make it about a confrontation. Just show him that you care. Let him make his own conclusions about not doing it the next time. Again, remember, the short-term pain now will save him a lifetime of pain later. Right? The younger kids are when they learn this lesson. Well, number one, it's a lot easier to learn when they're young. The consequences aren't as big. If they forget to turn in their homework at third grade, it's really not as consequential as if they forget to turn their homework in at 11th grade, or worse in college, or worse in med school or law school. So start young and give them that gift of empowerment to learn responsibility this way. Look at that neat special effect. Now, we do want to set them up for success. In other words, we want to do everything possible so that they can successfully remember things themselves, take the responsibility themselves. Key to that is when-then routine. Make sure they got down their morning routine, after-school routine, their bedtime routine. This is really a key for having them remember everything they need to do and just having it all become a habit, a daily discipline. You could also do a laminated last-minute checklist and attach it to their backpack. Just, hey, Monday you need your clarinet, Wednesday you need your gym clothes, whatever applies. And this way, as they leave the door, they can check. It's kind of the kid version of patting yourself down for keys, wallet, and phone. Also, use visual reminders. We mentioned the sticky notes before. Anything that will remind them of what they need to do without you having to say anything. Okay, let's talk a little bit about homework and specifically putting the responsibility where it belongs on your kids. So you want to let them know, hey, from now on, you're responsible for getting your homework done. Again, we're going to do that during a family meeting, and we're going to present it as a good thing. It's, part of their independence, part of them growing up. You also want to let them know that, hey, I'm not going to remind you. It's up to you to remember to do your homework. It's also up to you to remember to turn in your assignments. So they have to remember to put them in their book bag and, of course, to turn them in. And let them know, hey, not doing your homework is your choice, and you will have to face the consequences with your teacher. And hopefully, when that happens, it's only going to happen once. As long as they face the consequences with their teacher, you're not going to be there to make excuses for them. Also let them know, hey, I won't go to the store the last minute to buy supplies for a project that's due. If you've ever found yourself at 9 o'clock at night having your kid come out like, oh, Mom, I forgot I need a poster board for tomorrow's project. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. They're going to have to learn to plan and prepare ahead of time. And just let them know, hey, if you fail to remember, you'll have to experience the consequences at school. Now, this may be very difficult for some of you guys listening, but I want you to realize it's okay for your kids to fail. As a matter of fact, this is how they learn things like how to deal with disappointments. You and I both know life is not going to be easy. The older they get, and as much as we want them to have a great childhood, part of that is to prepare them, right? And the only way they're going to learn to deal with these disappointments is by failing occasionally. And it also teaches them how to be accountable and take responsibility for their outcome. It also builds that emotional resilience. This is something that working with kids over the past 3 decades I found is really has been on a steady decline. So we want our kids to be emotionally resilient. We want them to learn how to be persistent and how to handle challenges. So if you have a child who gives up too easily or doesn't even really try anything, this is a huge sticking point. And it also teaches them how to better plan and better prepare, right? So again, let them fail. It's not going to be the end of the world at this point. Remember, rescuing cheats kids out of learning these crucial life skills. Now, how to set your kids up for success? Well, one, you can ask them what they can do to help themselves. Oh, well, if you forgot your clarinet yesterday, you had some unpleasant consequences. What do you think you can do to help you remember? Let them come up with some of the solutions themselves. Train and practice with them. Go through the routines, right? Go through, practice checking their laminated checklist on their book bag. The more you practice, the more automatic everything becomes a habit. Now, of course, modify the routines when necessary. Sometimes we need to add things or take off things. So flexibility is key, right? See what's working. If it's working, great. What's not working needs to be modified. And always empathize with them, but don't shame them. Don't blame them. No, I told you so. Right? So, hey, I know this is tough. I know this feels like it's unfair, but I'm proud of you that you're going to do it anyway. As a matter of fact, eliminate the phrase, I told you so, from your vocabulary. Nobody likes to be told I told you so. It's really kind of kicking somebody when they're down, right? So if they are experiencing the consequences of having forgotten or messed something up, the last thing they need from their mom or their dad is I told you so. What they do need is empathy. Hey, that must really stink, but I'm proud of you anyway. I love you anyway. Hey, what do you think we can do next time to make sure this doesn't happen? Okay, next I want to talk about establishing your homework help policy. So you want to make it clear to your kids that you will only help them when A, they've completed everything they know how to do. Right? So they don't stop and call you for help when they get stuck. They go on and finish everything that they know how to do first. And B, they can explain to you their thought process for the problems that they couldn't figure out. So they'll finish everything they can do on their own. And then when they come to you for help, you're going to say, okay, so show me how you tried to solve this problem, and let them do their best to work it out with you. You want to coach them. You don't want to do this for them. Okay. Also, don't accept whining or helplessness. But I can't. But it's too hard. All this. Say, hey, you can do this. And again, be their coach. Don't be their rescuer. Also, you want to set up your own office hours. So let them know, hey, I'm available to help on homework from 4:30 to 6:30, whatever time works for you. That's when you can come to me for help. So it's their responsibility to get their homework done within the window of your office hours. This is just to make sure that, again, when it's 9 o'clock at night and you're exhausted and you're trying to unwind, and all of a sudden your kid comes up to you, I need help, right? So this will really give you some more free time and give you some, a lot less stress in your day. Okay, another important point. Make sure you let them know that talking to the teachers and coaches is their responsibility. And the younger you start them with this, the better, right? So if they have an issue, they feel like they didn't get a good enough grade, or if they forgot something, or if they want to ask the teacher whether they can do X or Y, it is their responsibility. And I strongly recommend you can role play the conversation with them. So, hey, let's figure out, what are you going to say to your teacher? And what do you think your teacher is going to say? What will you say if your teacher says this or your teacher says that? So role play the conversation so they feel comfortable. Listen, learning how to talk to adults, learning how to talk for themselves, how to speak for themselves, how to stand up for themselves. Very, very, very powerful skill. We work on this in my personal power martial arts classes constantly because, again, this is so empowering for kids. And as they grow up, they're going to have these skills right from the beginning, rather than find themselves as teenagers. Or, we hear stories all the time about, 22-year-old college students that have their mommy call the dean of the college to, ask something or whatever. We don't want our kids to end up that way. When you role play, also, you can remind them to make good eye contact, speak clearly. This is another thing that we role play all the time in our martial arts class. You can do that at home as well. Debrief after the conversation. So when they come home, hey, how did it go? What did the teacher say? What did you say? And remember, only get involved if it's absolutely necessary and only after your child has had the conversation. So if you feel like the situation wasn't resolved, the question wasn't answered, you feel like your child really was treated unfairly, that's when it's okay to reach out. Make sure you understand the teacher's perspective also, right? It's very easy to take our child's side first, but do your best to be objective. And also keep in mind, the version of the story we hear from our kids isn't always the most truthful. So you want to make sure you get all the facts when you do that. And lastly, this is very important. You want your kids to learn to understand that sometimes they just won't like the outcome, and that's life. Sometimes the teacher is going to say, well, no, this is your grade, and that's it. Or, no, you cannot get an extension on turning in your work, or you don't get to sit next to this person. So, hey, it's perfectly not just okay. It's really part of life. It's something they need to learn. So let them know. Don't go fight it if you feel that this is something that's just the outcome the teacher came up with. Okay, let's move on to success secret number 3. Before you do, just wanted to check, are you with me so far? Is this making sense to you? Are you getting excited about how this is going to really make a difference in making this school year your kid's best ever? I promise you, if you keep watching and apply these principles, it will make a huge difference, not just in your kid's success, but also in your life, in your stress levels, and how much they're going to go down in the free time that you're going to get. Now, along with that, let's move on to this strategy, this success secret, how to instill self-discipline in your kids almost effortlessly. And, I just want to kind of remind you, it's not easy being a kid today. Even at preschool, kids have what to them are big pressures, big challenges, whether it's their relationships, things they have to do that they're intimidated by, things they just don't know how to do yet. They don't have the skills yet. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to do what they need to do and feel good about it. And the secret to that is discipline. I remember as a teenager, there was a poster on the wall of my martial arts school where I was taking classes. It said, "There is freedom in discipline." And I remember, I can't figure this out. What does that mean? And finally, I asked my instructor, and he explained something to the effect of, if you imagine a train, if that train isn't on a track, it can't really go anywhere. It's going to end up crashing. It's going to be all over the place. But once you put it on a track, it can easily get from point A to point B, and really that's discipline. Discipline is the track that keeps us going in the right direction and keeps us from veering off course. Now, let's discuss how that applies to life. So the definition, or one definition of success, is this: a few simple disciplines repeated every day. A few simple disciplines repeated every day. So if every day you adapt the discipline of getting up in the morning and exercising, repeating that every day, within a month you're going to see and feel some big improvements to your health. Within 6 months it's going to be huge improvements, and that's how you make improvements. However, failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. So let's say you, instead of the discipline of working out, you wake up every morning and you make it part of your daily habit to have 7 donuts. Well, you're going to feel worse in a week. You're going to be a lot worse off in 6 months. And of course, after a year or two, the effects are going to be disastrous. Right? So the key is to implement a few simple disciplines and repeat them regularly. This is the secret for success in a very simple way to put it. So, excuse me, let me share with you a few simple disciplines that I strongly recommend implementing that are going to make a big difference. And success discipline number 1 is what I call one-on-one time. Now, of all my strategies and tools and techniques, implementing this is going to make a bigger difference than anything else in your kids' behavior, in their attitude, in their really in their emotional health and their mental health. So please pay close attention. This one is very, very powerful. And what it is, you're basically going to commit to spend 10 to 15 minutes per day. And this is one parent with one child. So each child in the family gets to spend some time with each parent in the family every single day. Now, when you do that, you want to be fully present, no cell phones, no distractions. Just give your child your fullest attention and let them choose the activity, what you're going to do. It's their special time. So you say, hey, honey, tonight at 6:30 is going to be our one-on-one time, and you get to choose. Maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's playing a game, whatever it is that they choose, let them do that and be there for them. Okay, now you might be, especially if you have more than one child and you're busy, of course, saying, well, that's not very realistic. But I promise you that the return on investment for that 10 and 15 minutes will save you far, far more time every single day, because it is going to significantly reduce power struggles and arguments and nagging and all those things. I cannot stress enough how powerful this technique is. It's also very important for bonding with each child and having a stronger emotional connection. It fulfills their emotional needs of belonging and significance. These are two of the prime driving forces for kids behind what they do, behind their behaviors, their need to feel like they belong in the family, and the need to feel like they're significant, like they're seen and heard and understood. This also will reduce your kids' anxiety. They know that every day they get to spend their time with you. They have something to look forward to. So it's going to help them stay more calm throughout the entire day. And it's going to reduce attention-seeking behaviors, which really is what's behind every misbehavior. What we consider misbehaviors are most of the time our kids' best attempts of trying to get some attention, of trying to fulfill those needs of belonging or significance or of having some power and control over their life. So one-on-one time, if nothing else that you get out of this web class, please do your best to implement this. If you can't do it every single day or 10, 15 minutes, do something. So at least you're starting, at least there's some time that they're getting every day. Now, success discipline number 2, structured physical activity. Now, of course, we want our kids to have some time for free play, for running around outside in the park, in the backyard, playing in the pool. However, we also want them to be part of a structured physical activity. And some recommendations for the activity to choose. There's so many options for kids today's, sports that we as kids maybe never even heard of. Now they're out there. So here are my recommendations. One, you want to find an activity that has a balance of structure, discipline, and fun. Right? So if they're just running around screaming, I've seen some soccer practices for preschoolers where it's just utter chaos. They're running around. Or the opposite side of that, maybe t-ball or softball practice, where your kid is sitting there in the outfield digging a hole in the ground with a stick. We don't want that. We want them to have a balance of structure. The activity it follows a certain structure. There's certain discipline, but it's also, of course, fun. We want them to enjoy it. Ideally, you want to pick an activity that will work on everything from their coordination, their strength, their flexibility, endurance, agility. The younger your kids start at improving these things, the stronger their foundation will be for excelling and improving them as they get older. You also, I strongly recommend finding a non-competitive activity. Now, it doesn't mean they shouldn't do sports or team sports, rather. However, you want to also have your kids, especially if they're not very athletic, to have an activity that doesn't rely on their athletic ability to be successful, right? So if they feel like, hey, I'm always playing the outfield, or I'm always on the bench, or I never get the ball, that is not going to be a positive experience for them. Of course, one activity that I recommend for this, martial arts, where they get to earn belts and stripes and progress based on their ability, not on anybody else's ability. You also want to make sure they have a structured activity that provides increasing challenges as their skill and as their ability increases. So the way to improve is to be pushed out of their comfort zone just enough so that they grow, but not so much that they get overwhelmed. And you also want to consider this, finding an activity that aims to improve character rather than just win games. Now, this could be, this depends more on the coach or martial arts instructor than it does on the activity itself. But you want to generally not just focus, especially when they're young, on, win at all costs, but rather, what do we learn? What do we grow from? How do we grow from participating in this activity? And of course, you want it to be fun. So even when there's days that they're not going to want to go, or they don't feel like going because they're tired, or they're playing a game, that, it's still fun enough so you're not feeling like, oh, they're suffering through this. So, does this perfect activity actually exist? Well, funny you should ask. So, yes, you guessed it, this is my martial arts dojo, personal power martial arts. Maybe you recognized some of the kids in the videos. And if you're interested, and by now, I'm pretty sure you are, keep watching and you'll get a huge discount. I have some cool bonuses for you at the end of this video. So that's my little commercial. Now, back to our scheduled program. Let's move on to success discipline number 3, and that is quality family time. So remember, one-on-one time is one parent, one child. Family time is everyone as a family, or as many members of the family as you can get together. It gives you a great chance to bond as a family. It's also a great way for family members to learn and work towards goals together, whether it's putting together a puzzle, or working to your next martial arts belt together. It gives your kids an empowering opportunity to be your coach. So again, giving them that personal power to feel, hey, there's some things that I get to show mom how to do, or some things that I know how to do better. And it gives you a new perspective on your kids' challenges, right? I've seen some parents in my martial arts class, before they join in the class themselves, look at their kids and, hey, my kid keeps getting the wrong hand on this move. You say left hand, she's doing right hand. Why can't she get it? And then when they actually try it themselves, they realize it's not always as easy as it looks. So it gives you a new perspective on what your kids are experiencing. It also gives you a new common language to relate to each other. So to use my martial arts class as an example again, we talk about things like having a winning attitude, not stinking thinking, which is having a bad attitude, a negative attitude. So now a lot of my parents tell me how, we keep reminding our child whenever she is down on herself, hey, is this stinking thinking? And she now knows to change that to a winning attitude. So very, very useful tool. And of course, it gives you an opportunity to have fun together and make the kind of memories that your kids will cherish for the rest of their lives, and also that you will as they get older and go out on their own. You'll always have these great times to look back on. Now, does the perfect family activity exist? Well, yeah, you guessed it. So we do have family classes. We encourage our parents to join in. Here's what Carly said. There aren't many family activities where a parent can truly be learning something for the first time at the same time as their kids. And even fewer places that can fully nurture adults and kids while doing it. My black belt wife joined my 4-year-old son and I as we started our Taekwondo journey. And if asked, all three of us would say the class was geared towards us. As a teacher, a therapist, a partner, a parent, and a person, I truly cannot say enough about Master Zohar, his assistants, or the things that we are all gaining from his class. Dr. Tianying Zhang says, my kids and I love to go to karate, and we have learned a lot from the 5 tenets and self-defense techniques. Master Zohar and all the assistant teachers are very professional and kind. Not only all the forms we learn, but also how to be a good citizen is a valuable lesson for their whole life. And my favorite part, I would love to say this is the best investment so far for the kids. And one more, this is Dr. Chang. Personal power martial arts has been a wonderful experience for my boys. Rand patiently teaches them while instilling discipline and inspiring them to become the best versions of themselves. His instructors have the same education to the principles that Rand teaches, and everything is woven together with some humor and a lot of fun. I can't say enough about the positive impact this dojo has had on my family. I never thought I would like martial arts so much. She has been doing great in the class, and we love it, and we will keep coming back every month. Thank you, Rand, from the Chang family. Unfortunately, they did move away to Colorado, where I'm hoping they continue their martial arts journey. And again, keep watching this web class to the end so you can get a huge discount, some great bonuses. So let's go on to success discipline number 3. Family business meeting. Now, regardless of where the quotes are, this can be family business meeting or family business meeting. And the idea is to really structure this meeting as you would a business meeting to discuss family business. So it's a great way to organize the family life, to solve problems and conflicts. So if there's an issue between siblings or a challenge for the whole family, this is a great time to do it. You want to do this generally once a week. Sometimes you can call a meeting, an emergency meeting or a special meeting if it's required to deal with a certain situation. But generally, you want to start these meetings with wins, right? Hey, let's go around and everybody share what's gone great for them this week. What are some of the wins that they've had this week? It doesn't have to be anything big, but something positive. Or gratitude. Hey, I wanted to thank, Mikey for clearing the dishes every night without being asked. I really appreciate that. Or compliments. Hey, Sarah did awesome on her in her school play. I really wanted to just congratulate her. Next, you're going to go over the week's calendar. Hey, Joey is invited to a birthday party on Sunday at noon, and we have a dance recital on Friday evening, and so on. You want to go over any agenda items, if there's new routine changes, any challenges, any issues, anything that needs to be addressed ahead of time. And if you give allowance to your kids, this is the perfect time to do that during the weekly family meeting. And always end with a fun activity. So this could be something as simple as ordering a pizza. Hey, family meetings end with a pizza, or watching a movie with the family, or their favorite show, or playing a game, as long as it's fun for everyone. So let's review what you learned so far. By now, you've seen how to use routines to eliminate morning madness and bedtime battles. By now, you know how to empower your kids to become independent and responsible. By now, you've learned how to reduce or even eliminate behavior issues with one-on-one time. You've also learned how to emotionally connect with your kids through quality family time. And by now, you've learned how to significantly reduce your stress by organizing your family life. And my favorite, you've seen how my personal power martial arts classes can empower your kids to be physically strong, mentally focused, emotionally resilient, and socially successful. Now, for your kids to be successful, you're going to need more than just this information alone. If all you do is watch this video, by tomorrow morning, you're most likely just slip back to your same old habits, right? You'll just do what you've always done. Your kids will do what they've always done. That's just what people do. But as your coach, your friend, your mentor, I'm not going to let you go back to your old habits. I'm going to make sure you're successful by breaking them. So if you want real lasting challenge, you and your kids need repeated exposure to this empowering philosophy, not to mention a coach to answer your questions and help keep you on track. And that's why I put together an amazing opportunity for you and your family so you can make this happen starting now. See, I take my job as a success coach very seriously. I won't let you quit on yourself, and I'm definitely not going to let you quit on your kids. Together, we're going to make this year your kids' best school year ever. But we can't do that just by watching one video. So I've put together a quick introductory program. It's what I call my best school year boot camp. It's a 14-day, 2-week boot camp. And here's everything that you get within this boot camp. One, you get a private orientation and goal setting session for your family with me. We sit down, we get you ready to take our amazing martial arts classes, find out what you're looking for your child or your children to improve, and set some realistic goals for them and go over how we're going to do that. That's a value of $75. Now, they also get 3 fun, exciting, empowering martial arts classes. That's a $62 value for each child. So this is how we're going to actually start getting them in that right mindset and start building that skill set for success. They will earn a martial arts white belt by breaking a real board at the end of their 3rd class. And we use board breaking as a metaphor to teach kids how to break through their fears, how to break through their limiting beliefs. So this is a priceless experience when it's taught correctly. You'll also be getting my Black Belt Leadership reward system. This is a special reward system that we have in place to make sure that kids don't just apply the life skills we teach when they're in class, but rather it helps you reinforce those lessons at home, at school, everywhere they go. And the value for that, again, I'll put that as priceless. And you get the Personal Power Martial Arts phone app. We have it for iOS and Android. It's packed with, great videos and along the line of the video you're watching now. It helps you track your kids' progress. Really lots of resources on there as well. That's a $14 value. So the total value, excluding the priceless qualities, is $151. Now, who has my program worked for? It's worked for parents of overachieving kids who really are looking for every advantage they get. They want to give their kids. Historically, my black belts, the kids who achieve black belts in my program, have a much, much higher acceptance rate into Ivy League schools, as compared to the general population. This has also worked for parents of underachieving kids. I was one of those underachieving kids. I just, before martial arts, I didn't really try hard on anything. I gave up too easily. Every parent-teacher conference, the phrase, not living up to his potential came up. And martial arts has turned my life around. And, if your child is in this criteria, this is a great way to get them inspired, motivated, and trained with the mindset and skill set to uncover their potential. My program has been very, very beneficial for parents of kids with special needs. Over the past 30 years, I've worked with just about any kind of challenge you can imagine, physical, mental, emotional. We have lots and lots of kids with ADHD, on the autistic spectrum, and all kinds of challenges, and they all are benefiting greatly from this class. This has worked for parents of athletic kids. Martial arts training really develops every kind of athletic ability, from speed, power, agility, coordination, endurance. It's a great way to enhance their sport performance in any other sport. Many professional athletes use martial arts as cross-training to enhance their training. Now, this has also worked great for parents of non-athletic kids. So if your kid does not like team sport, is not a competitive person personality-wise, this is a wonderful way for them to get physically active, but also to be successful on their terms and according to their ability, right? Advancing in our program is based on each person's individual ability, about them learning to do their best rather than comparing them to other kids. And really, this has been wonderful for any parent who wants their kid to unleash their full potential. Personal power martial arts, we focus on helping them become the best they can be, mentally, physically, emotionally, and socially. Now, if you're one of the first 30 to get this offer today, I have a special bonus for you. You'll get, or each of the family members that you get this offer for, will get a free Personal Power Martial Arts t-shirts, and that's a $25 value. You can see it in the photo here. What you can see on the back, we have a big graphic design as well. And special bonus number 2, this is if you're one of the first 15 to get this offer. Moms and dads, you get to join in the class for free. So you get the 3 classes for yourself. This applies to both moms, dads. It's a $124 value if both parents join in. The kids love it. You love it. It's a way for you to get some great exercise, whether you're in great shape already or whether you need to get in shape. This is a wonderful way to do it with your kids, to spend that family time together and really to get to benefit from the empowering lessons yourself. So let's recap really quick what you're getting. You're going to get the private orientation and goal setting session, the 3 fun and exciting and empowering martial arts classes, earning the white belt, breaking the board, the black belt leadership reward system, the Personal Power Martial Arts app, the Personal Power Martial Arts t-shirt, and parents get to participate in class free. So with the bonuses added on, that is a total value of $300. Now, that's not the investment you're going to make today, but before we get to that, I want to ask you something. If all this program did was eliminate the fighting, screaming, and arguing in the morning, would it be worth $300? If all this program did was eliminate the fighting, screaming, arguing at bedtime, would it be worth it? If all my program did was teach your kids how to be responsible for their actions, what would that be worth? Now, if all this program did was give you more free time for yourself, would that be worth it? And what if all this program did was inspire your kids to be the best they can be? Would it be worth it? And of course, what if this program, if all it did was make this year your kid's best school year ever? Would it be worth it? So the amazing offer that I have for you today is enroll now, and just $59 for one child, or $118 for your entire household. That's right. If you have 2 children or more, you only pay for the first 2, and the rest of the family, the rest of the household gets everything for free. If you have 5 kids, that's still $118. 5 kids, 2 parents, still $118 for the program for your entire family. You also have my personal money back guarantee. If for any reason you or your kids don't absolutely love the best school year ever bootcamp, that's a mouthful, just shoot me an email or text message and I will promptly refund your payment. Now, you have 2 choices. First option, you do nothing, not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free, and you hope that your kids will learn these important lessons on their own. Or your second option, you pony up the small investment today and just give it a shot. If it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back and you'll get it. So the real question is, if my program does even half of what I've claimed today on this web class, doesn't it make perfect sense to take action and sign up now? So go ahead, all you got to do, click the button below there to enroll now, and I'll see you in class very soon.
They are much more focused than they ever were. Their schoolwork has just improved dramatically. It's amazing the improvements we've seen just from 1 year of coming to personal power martial arts.
He certainly learned all kinds of responsibility and confidence in himself and self-discipline since we've been here. They are more focused at home and at school. Alexis started first grade last year and she had a little bit of a rough time, focus in the beginning, and I believe Taekwondo helped her develop focus and concentration. And also, Alexa used to give up a little bit too easily, and now she's ready, focus on everything she does, and even when she has a hard time, like in math, she never says, I can't. She always says, I need to try harder, and this is something that we learn.
My son, Grant, has been taking personal power martial arts classes with Master Zohar, and it has been an awesome experience for all of us. Grant has been much more focused and responsible in school and everything that he does, even at home. So we're really proud of him.
Since Dylan has started with the Personal Power Martial Arts program, we've noticed a huge improvement in his behavior, not only at school, but at home as well, getting along better with his brother and remaining calm in difficult situations at school with other kids. And we've seen the improvements. His teachers, his principal, everybody have commented on it. So we're really proud of how far he's come since he started coming here.
First maybe month of school, he had a few behavior problems. It was mostly because he was following some other kids and allowing them to be leaders. And it was really, I think, listening to lessons here at Personal Power Martial Arts that he became a leader in a more positive way in school, and probably 2 months into class really started to shine. His grades were really improving, and by the middle of the school year, he was one of the top students in his class. And finished kindergarten with straight A's, and we couldn't be more proud. And I think a lot of that has to do with the classes he's taken here.
She's more focused, and in class they talk not just about the actual martial arts, but all the life skills and useful terminology that we actually really incorporate into day-to-day life. And it's really had a positive impact, from channeling her energy into good things to really putting putting up some good examples, and
Master Ron is great with the kids. We love the leadership notes and the program itself.
Master Zohar is the number one reason why we sign the girls up here at Personal Power Martial Arts. His rapport with the kids. Number one thing that caught me, what caught my eye was he met these girls once. He knew their name right off the bat, and to me that showed a high level of respect for the kids.
Master Zohar does a great job of working with the kids. He really has a way of relating to them and making the lessons so that they can use them at home.
They really like him. My wife and I, we couldn't be happier here.
I would recommend this program for any child. It's good for your kids to have self-discipline and self-control, and they do need that, and they will succeed in school and in life with a great foundation. Thanks, Master Ron, for everything.